The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows, a spring 2025 anime adaptation of Sakaku Hishikawa's light novel, produced by Macaria, has carved a niche in the fantasy genre with its blend of redemption and underground intrigue. The series follows Zenus, a self-taught healer from the slums who, after being discarded by his adventuring party, opens an illegal clinic in the kingdom of Herzatha's shadowy underbelly. Episode 4, titled A Righteous Hero, aired on April 24, 2025, and pits Zenus against Vice Commander Krishna of the Royal Guard, escalating the tension between the slums and the kingdom's elite. I'm drawn to the potential for Zenus to confront systemic corruption, but I'm also skeptical of whether the episode can move beyond its harem-heavy roots to deliver a compelling narrative. Episode 4 picks up with Vice Commander Krishna infiltrating Zenus' clinic, mistaking him for a slaver and shooting him upon seeing Lily, the young elf girl he rescued. Zenus, unharmed due to his magical resilience, heals himself and engages Krishna in a tense standoff, revealing his identity as the slum's mediator. Krishna, dubbed the Iron Rose, attempts to arrest him, fearing the slum's unity, but Zenus' allies, Linga, Zofia, and Loe, leaders of the underworld factions, intervene, forcing her retreat. The episode ends with Krishna reporting to her commander, hinting at a larger scheme to suppress the slums, while Zenus reaffirms his commitment to protecting his community. Episode 4 marks a significant escalation in the series' central conflict, shifting from Zenus' personal redemption to a broader clash between the slums and the kingdom. Krishna's infiltration and attack on Zenus introduce a direct threat from the royal establishment, confirming the commander's fears from Episode 3 that a united slum could challenge the higher-ups. The standoff between Zenus and Krishna serves as a turning point, exposing the kingdom's willingness to use force to maintain control, while Zenus' defiance, standing firm despite being shot, solidifies his role as a protector of the marginalized. The episode raises new questions about the kingdom's true intentions and Krishna's backstory, especially with her parting words, "This isn't over, healer," suggesting a personal stake in her mission. The episode fulfills its role in the arc by transitioning from the internal dynamics of the slums to an external threat, setting the stage for a larger confrontation. However, I think the pacing is slightly off. The initial confrontation with Krishna is brisk and tense, but the resolution, her retreat after the gang leader's intervention, feels rushed, leaving little time to explore the aftermath. I personally don't understand why the episode didn't linger on Zenus' reaction to this new threat, which could have heightened the stakes for future episodes. Zenus and Krishna are the episode's focal characters, with Linga, Zofia, and Loe playing supporting roles. Zenus reveals a new layer of resilience and moral conviction, standing his ground against Krishna even after being shot, a testament to his growth from a discarded healer to a defiant leader. His dialogue, "I won't let you harm anyone here," is consistent with his protective instincts, seen in his healing of the gang leaders in Episode 3, though I'm against how his magical prowess sometimes overshadows his emotional depth. A moment of doubt or fear could have made his resolve more human. Krishna, introduced as the Iron Rose, is a compelling antagonist, her rigid sense of justice clashing with Zenus' unorthodox methods. Her initial attack, driven by a misunderstanding, reveals her impulsiveness, but her retreat and report to the commander hint at a deeper loyalty to the kingdom, possibly tied to her own past. I think her character shows promise, but I didn't like how her motivations remain vague. More context about her history could have made her conflict with Zenus more nuanced. The gang leader's intervention reinforces their loyalty to Zenus, though their roles feel more functional than developed, a missed opportunity to explore their dynamics further. The episode delves into themes of justice, systemic inequality, and the power of community. Zenus' confrontation with Krishna highlights the clash between two forms of justice, Krishna's lawful, top-down approach versus Zenus' grassroots, compassionate one. The kingdom's fear of a united slum underscores systemic inequality, showing how the elite exploit division to maintain power, a theme resonant with the series' critique of Herzatha's corrupt healer hierarchy. The gang leader's defense of Zenus emphasizes the strength of community, illustrating how mutual support can challenge oppressive structures. These themes are conveyed through the standoff and Zenus' unwavering commitment, though I don't think the episode fully explores the moral ambiguity of Krishna's position. A deeper look into her perspective, perhaps a flashback showing why she serves the kingdom so fiercely, could have enriched the theme of justice, making the conflict less black and white. Episode 4 expands Herzatha's world by introducing the Royal Guard's active role in suppressing the slums, hinting at a broader conspiracy to maintain control. Krishna's title, Iron Rose, and her commander's mention of keeping the rabble in check suggest a militarized hierarchy that contrasts sharply with the slum's chaotic but communal structure. The episode also reinforces the magical system's rules. Zenus' ability to heal himself instantly showcases the gap between his unlicensed skills and the kingdom's sanctioned healers, a disparity central to the series' premise. I think this adds depth to the world, but I didn't like the lack of detail about the kingdom's kingdom's broader plans, which leaves the threat feeling somewhat abstract. The dialogue is functional but occasionally leans on cliches, particularly in Krishna's lines like, "You're a threat to order," which feel predictable for a lawful antagonist. Zenith's exchanges with Lily, such as reassuring her after the attack, "You're safe now," are more heartfelt, grounding his character in his protective role. The writing shines in the tension of the standoff, but I'm against the reliance on expository dialogue to explain Krishna's motives mid-conflict, which disrupts the scene's flow. Overall, the writing advances the plot but lacks the sharpness to elevate the episode's emotional and thematic depth. Episode 4 evokes a mix of tension and frustration. The standoff with Krishna is gripping, stirring excitement as Zenith stands his ground, but the rushed resolution left me wanting more emotional fallout. The most memorable moment is Zenith healing himself, a quiet act of defiance that underscores his resilience, though it's tempered by the lack of deeper introspection. The episode prompts reflection on systemic injustice and the power of community, but its emotional impact is muted by pacing issues. I think the potential for a broader conflict is clear, but the execution holds it back from being truly resonant. Episode 4 of The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows succeeds in escalating the central conflict, introducing Krishna as a formidable antagonist and highlighting Zenith's growth as a protector. The voice acting and thematic exploration of justice and community are strengths, grounding the episode in the series' core appeal. However, I didn't like the uneven pacing, which rushes the resolution and undercuts the emotional stakes, and the animation quality continues to disappoint, with static action scenes diminishing the tension. The writing, while functional, leans on cliches, and Krishna's underdeveloped motivations feel like a missed opportunity. Overall, the episode achieves its goal of advancing the plot and setting up a larger conflict, but its success is tempered by production and pacing flaws. I anticipate the series will delve deeper into the kingdom's conspiracy, potentially exploring Krishna's backstory and the slum's resistance, though I hope for improved visuals and tighter storytelling. For fans of redemption-driven fantasies, Episode 4 offers enough intrigue to keep you invested, even if it doesn't fully capitalize on its potential.